So joining me now are our two pollsters who have been up all night. We're not making that up, crunching the numbers. It's Republican pollster Bill McInturff and Democratic pollster Jeff Horwit. All right, we told you the numbers at the top. It's 10 points. But I want to focus on the virus here, because if there was movement in this poll, it was over the virus. Bill and Jeff, we've been tracking the most important issue in dealing with the virus and the economy and the intertwining. Do you focus more on the economy over the virus, or virus over the economy? In mid-October, the economy had an 8-point edge. The economy still has an 8-point edge, but it's now just 3, Bill McInturff. Is this the October surprise? Is the virus's impact here at the end, particularly with independent voters, the October surprise?
I don't think the numbers have changed that much, Chuck. I don't think that among those numbers who say coronavirus is the most important issue, they are overwhelmingly voting for Joe Biden by almost 85 points. But among people who pick economy, they're voting for Trump by about 85 points. And you'll see the coronavirus number didn't shift. But no question, if the coronavirus somehow magically never happened, this would be a very different election with a very different economy and a very different structure for the incumbent president.
Jeff Horwit, look, we're reminded, we learned a lot about national polling versus battleground state polling. We have a 10-point lead. In the battleground states, we have Biden with a smaller 6-point lead. The question a lot of people are going to simply ask, can Trump overcome that 6 points and win the Electoral College?
Look, it's going to be very hard, and it's going to be very hard for a couple of reasons. One is, unlike 2016, this is really a referendum on Donald Trump. We've had 4 years of a Trump presidency. We know what it is like. We've seen it. We've lived through it. And for the first 3 years, we wondered what an unconventional president, how he would address a crisis not of his own making. And in his 4th year of his presidency, we know. And the verdict is not good when we have 40% who can approve of the job he's doing in handling COVID-19. And then, the other thing is that the numbers really have been stable in terms of the trial lead at 10 points now. It was 11 and 14 in our debates. There's been no movement to really suggest that Donald Trump is making ground. And the last point is Joe Biden. Joe Biden is net positive. His personal ratings have improved over time, which was not the case in 2016, while Donald Trump remains net negative.
I want to put up a couple of other demographic splits here, Bill. First, we have among whites with college degrees and whites without college degrees. This has been a split we've been tracking for 4 years. You can see the split here, 21-point edge for the president among whites without a college degree, a 15-point edge for Joe Biden. But let's go through the age groups here very quickly. Biden dominating among 18 to 34. That's not surprising. The middle age groups are very tight, with the president with a slight edge among 35 to 49 and 50 to 64. But it's 65 plus, Bill, that is suddenly a 19-point edge, which was a bit of a spike from some of our previous polling.
Yeah, look, they're a volatile group, but I think the other thing to look at is who's not voted. Among the roughly 3 out of 10 people who say they have not voted yet, they're voting for Donald Trump by almost 30 points. And the states to look at, and you focus the right thing, which is white non-college, look at the states with huge numbers of white non-college who've not yet voted: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. And this election is going to come down to those states again. And just like we've seen historic early vote, I think we're going to see historic vote. And the other thing to remember is, like 2004, like 2012, those were 2 incumbent races, Bush and Obama, where you give smart people a lot of time, a lot of money to change the composition of the electorate. The Republican Party has done a good job registering new people in these states, and they have devoted a year to try to increase turnout in rural and with white non-college in these states. And I think these states are going to get very, very close.
Yeah, there's certainly some evidence of it, particularly in Florida, from what we've been able to track. Jeff, let me end with this, and it's something that you and Bill talk about all the time, and it's the importance of the job rating number for an incumbent president, because it gives you a hint of what the ballot number will be. Just to put up the graphic here, you can see going back to 1984, just on the re-elections, Reagan's re-elect approval rating 58, re-elect percentage was 59. Keep going, George H.W. Bush 36-37, Bill Clinton, bit more of a gap because it was a 3-way race, 56-49. The 2 most recent re-elects, 49% job ratings for Bush and Obama, they get 51%. So the president's sitting at 45%. Number one, Jeff, should we assume his ballot test isn't 42, that it'll end up at 45? And does this mean game over if suddenly Biden's number doesn't drop all of a sudden and he can make that a winning number?
Look, I think there is some evidence historically that the job rating does track very closely with share of vote on election day. So far, this hasn't borne out for Donald Trump. We will see, but you could certainly make a case that the race could tighten somewhat, getting closer to Trump at 45 again. And really a two-way race now, that's not going to be enough nationally, and we'll see how it plays out in the states. And again, I think that is the challenge for him: is how does he get a president who's never had a positive job rating in his presidency in the NBC Wall Street Journal poll? How does he get above 45%, which is what he's going to need? And the other thing I would say is, Bill talked about the increase in turnout. In our poll, first-time voters who haven't voted before an election are going to Biden by 54 to 39%.
It is a key number that we've also seen spike a bit in Florida, especially. Bill McInturf, Jeff Horwit, thank you both. Thank you for the all-nighter, and we've got another all-nighter and an all-weeker coming up. So, hello from Washington. I'm Chuck Todd, and thanks for checking out the Meet the Press channel on YouTube. Click on the button down here to subscribe, and click over here to watch the latest interviews, highlights, and other digital exclusives.